Hi guys, welcome back to Access and welcome back to our E3 coverage. Today I'm with Michael. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And we are talking Dead Island 2. Now, first of all, I have not been able to get that song from the trailer out of my head ever since I saw it for the first time. It's just constantly jingling around in there. It's very fun, it's very colourful, and it's very bright as well.
Well, no, I'm really glad you think so. I mean, the response has been lovely. I'm so thrilled to have it here and finally get to share it with everybody. And I'm glad that everyone sees that tone. That was just really the most important thing we wanted to get across. So I'm just terribly happy that that's getting there.
Cool. I mean, obviously, the kind of thing was a paradise and hell meeting. And you've got a great location, California, very sunny, very bright. Why is that so important for Dead Island, do you think, to have these beautiful locations, but then you're just smashing zombies in the head?
Because it's fun. It's just the most contrasty, interesting image you can get. And it doesn't, the idea that perhaps zombies always have to be on the backdrop of a cemetery or the back wall of a grim church or something like that is just not true, as it turns out. You can have your fun, you can have your sun, and it's just a nice way to be able to do things. And yeah, it's something that we at Jaeger we really loved about the original title, like the Banoi Island and the way they had this, like, the sort of Australian surfers, but then they're all turning to zombies. I was like, well, okay, if we could do that anywhere else, where would we do it and get the same, if not a bigger effect? Sure. California. So
and it looks like you've obviously got a much bigger playground this time than you had before. Banoi was kind of like an island, and it had its own kind of stuff, and it was very enclosed within that space. But California, you mentioned San Francisco is in the demo. The trailer, I guess that shows them running along Venice Beach in Los Angeles. How much of California have we got in the game, and how big is it going to be?
It's going to be quite a size. It's going to probably be quite a decent size, bigger than Dead Island 1. We're trying, and it's not in a sense that we absolutely have to be bigger than that, but it's just the act of trying to best represent all those different areas of California. We really want to represent every beautiful kind of like locale and geography that California has to offer. We kind of take the approach of, imagine those Californian postcards. Like if we were to go down to Venice Beach now, go to the tourist shop and start putting postcards down, that's really kind of the approach we have to all the different vistas and all the different geography, because that's the stuff that people recognize. When I say to you, zombie game California, you're like, okay, right, like in the tourist channel and the postcards and stuff. So that's how we really approach it. So
narrative, how important an aspect is that for you? You've got your 8-player co-op, but you've got the strong single-player narrative running underneath all of it, holding it together. How important is that for you?
It's actually, the narrative is super important. More important though is the right tone and narrative. Like going back to our previous work on Spec Ops, I mean, that obviously had its strong narrative undertones and overtones. I mean, a lot of times it's very overt, and it was very much the right thing for that title. We really made an effort to be as respectful and just as tactful and as professional as we could in executing that rather serious story. And for Dead Island, it's a very different game. It's a very different universe, and so we are committed to that style of narrative with as much conviction as possible to really stick more into creating these humorous moments that this is actually funny. So we are pushing more for the humorous experience, which has a narrative pulling it along. It's a narrative which is a different challenge though. I mean, this is an open world 8-player co-op game. It's essentially like the world's smallest MMO. You're going to be in an open world dedicated server, and so it's not a narrative that's going to take you down a path and then proclaim you to have learned something and then tell you to stop playing. That's not right for this world. It's not going to be satisfying. What is going to be satisfying is being given a reason to stay on vacation in California killing zombies. So that's how we've done it. The way the game is going to handle its multiplayer and offline is the game will be default for online. So when you start booting up, you're always going to be on a dedicated server. There's going to be people in the world with you at all times. It's going to work with matchmaking, go down your friends list. So you're going to have usually a very intimate experience with people that you know by default. You can of course play offline and you get the same endless experience, you get the same gameplay, there's nothing limiting there. But we always want people to play online, because the online was, again, when we saw Dead Island at Jaeger, was one of the things we clued into when we were like, oh my, this seamless online they've done, just press one button and the guy's there. That was, honestly, it was wonderful. It's why I think it was so popular around the office, because it was actually really easy to just play with each other around the office. So we thought, okay, no, let's roll with that. That seems to be something that we can push even further. And again, timing was just wonderful. We got opportunity to work on the franchise. Then next gen started coming, and Unreal 4, and we just thought, okay, we have all the opportunity, ambition, and the good grace of our publisher to try with this. So we took that opportunity.
And getting into more of the specifics of the game now, what kind of zombies can we expect to see, and what kind of weapons can we smack them around the head with?
Lots. I mean, it's one of the great things of doing the US, the California locale. Like in Benoit, in Dead Island 1 and Riptide, when you're wandering around, you're finding lots of not like throwaway items, like everyday items. And because you're on Benoit Tropical Island, it was like rowing paddles. Yeah, exactly, the paddle and sticks and pipes and things like that. So stuff that would be kind of around a resort.
Yeah.
But because we're in California, suddenly you have the wealth of what is in people's garage. So you've got
guns.
You've got guns. I mean, yeah, we're guns, of course. I mean, it's the US. But more importantly, you've got all of your old man's power tools. You've got everything. You've got the weed whacker. You've got his lawnmower. You've got the baseball bats. You've got the sports equipment. You've got the hunting section at the giant store with crossbows and everything. And we just, again, when we started putting together, it just seemed to make complete sense that you're going to get to raid all of this stuff, loot it all, create these crazy weapons, and yeah, and then all the zombies are there for you to take on.
Cool. And just to wrap up then, in the demo when you were just playing the game, we were seeing all the combat, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then right at the end, we got a little sneak preview of what the game looks like now. Like 4 little snippets of in-engine, and I kind of just went, it looks amazing. You know, it must be really chuffed with what you've been able to do with the new Unreal 4 engine.
Really, yeah, Unreal 4. I mean, it was again great timing. Yeah. I mean, with Spec Ops, we got really into Unreal 3, and it's very much part of Unreal's and what Epic provide us is just so much a part of Jaeger and what we like to do. It's part of the game development. We like tackling Unreal. It's part of our DNA. And again, the timing just came up where we did this pitch, and then next gen started happening, and then like yourselves and everyone else, we saw the Elemental demo. Oh my god! And we've got the pitch sat there. We've seen the Element in Unreal. Okay, we have to do this, and we have to challenge us on that level. And Unreal 4 just offers us so many opportunities there. It's it's nice to have all those challenges. Sounds a bit over ambitious and like, oh my god, you can't tackle it all, but everybody at Jaeger, and I think everyone likes a different challenge, and we've got a lot of people in the studio who just love that challenge, artistically, technically, and Unreal 4 just lets us do a great amount of stuff. I mean, we talked about, I think in the presentation we talked about how the different variants of zombies, and we want no two to be alike. A lot of that work and ability to do that, it really is down to the content side of how Unreal works. It's got a really excellent content pipelines, and particularly again with the weapons as much as the zombies, to be able to do that, it wouldn't have been possible before. So really would have been is quite a unique thing for us in Unreal 4, and it just allows us to do great fun things with it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, Michael. The game is looking really, really awesome. You guys can see more of it on our channel. Also, if you want to see more from E3, we've got absolutely loads of videos at the moment, so make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon.